This is number 15. And basically we've been given information. It says if BC here is 24 and AC is 9, so we got our two measures, we're trying to find the measure of angle B to the nearest degree. We're going to put our theta in there. Theta is just a Greek symbol, or a Greek letter actually, and we use it as a symbol to solve here. What you want to look at is we've got a right triangle. So whenever we have a right triangle and then we have two pieces of information like an angle and a side or two sides or something like that, we can use trigonometry to solve this. So you want to label your parts here. Looking at this theta and you look at the 9, you want to find their relationship, and that 9 is directly opposite of that theta. So this side right here is opposite. Then this side right here directly across the 90 degrees, that's known as the hypotenuse. So you want to go to that trig formula. We talked about it as SOHCAHTOA, so SOHCAHTOA. What we have information for is the opposite and the hypotenuse. So here we can see we're going to be using sine, because that's the one that uses the opposite and the hypotenuse. So you want to set up your trig information. So we've got sine. Always after this word, always, whether it's after the S, the C, or the T, whenever you have it right after, has to be the angle measure, always. What is the angle measure? Well, that's what we're trying to find out. So sine of theta equals, now you want to set up your fraction, the opposite, just like this, the opposite's on top, the hypotenuse is on the bottom. So the side that's opposite is 9, the hypotenuse is 24. Now, if we're trying to solve for an angle measure, this is that one time, whenever you're solving for the angle, you're going to use the inverse here. So theta is going to equal the inverse sine of 9/24. So let's look at how you put that in your calculator. I'm using a graphing calculator. If you're using the TI-36X Pro, you're going to put it in a little bit differently. So I'm going to push this over a little bit. Okay. And so now when you're putting this in, you're basically, for this graphing calculator, there's this button that's right above it. Oops, you can't see there. There's this button right above that says sine, and then this button above says sine with a -1. So you're going to push this sine, so second sine would give me that in the blue. And then it says here on my paper, 9 divided by 24, and you want to close that parentheses and push enter. Now, 22 is what I get. But one thing you have to be very careful for these calculators is you want to check the mode. The mode right up here shows me that it's in what we call degrees. We got to make sure that says degrees. If it says radians, then you're not going to be able to find it to the nearest degree. So it's here in the mode button. Now let's get out of there by saying second mode, which is second quit. So that is in degrees, so it's 22 degrees, and we were going for the nearest degree. Just as a word of caution, whenever you take a standardized test, they always have to clear your calculator and set it back to manufactured settings. And because of that, one of the things you're going to lose is, going back to here, they're going to put it back to factory settings. They're going to put it in radians. So when they wipe out your calculator's memory, it will go back to radians. You've got to go back, highlight the word degree, and then that would help your calculator go back to what you're looking for. Secondly, if you're using the TI-36X Pro, to get your inverse button, you just have to push sine twice or cosine twice or tangent twice in a row. And when you do that, that will give you your inverse. Okay? This is your answer for number 15 is answer choice A.